This is St. Paul's Cathedral, a world-famous London landmark that, throughout history, has been the site of numerous high-profile events. But did you know that 4 men have also shot themselves to death inside the cathedral? 4 that I could find, at least. And that's not to mention the countless people that have thrown themselves from the Whispering Gallery inside. Let's get into it. The first such incident seems to have taken place on Sunday, the 28th of September, 1890, when 38-year-old Edward Easton arrived outside of the cathedral in a horse and cart and began climbing the stairs to the main entrance. Inside, a Reverend Ayton had been leading the morning service when Easton walked in with a revolver, shot himself in the chest, and then, still being alive, shot himself again, with both bullets passing entirely through his body and slamming into a stone pillar behind him. He had been strange in his movements for some time past, the Dundee Evening Telegraph would report, and an inquest would later declare that he had done it whilst temporarily insane. Strangely enough though, less than 4 months later, on the 9th of January 1891, it then happened again. At around midnight, 35-year-old soldier William Wynne stood here at the top of these steps beneath the western portico and shot himself in the head. But then, 10 years after that, 59-year-old Giuliani Muccio did exactly the same thing during a morning service on Thursday, the 7th of February 1901. After being out of work for some time and having separated from his wife, he had previously threatened to kill himself, it was said, but little else seems to have been reported. 22 years, anyway, had then passed after that, but on Thursday, the 22nd of November 1923, 59-year-old John Tyso Smith arrived at the cathedral at around 1:30 p.m. He had seemed perfectly calm in manner, it was said, and after buying a ticket for the Golden Gallery, he climbed the stairs to the top of the dome. He then walked out onto the viewing platform, drew a revolver, and shot himself in the head before an attendant then found him lying with the weapon near at hand and blood streaming from a wound near the right temple. With great difficulty, it took half an hour to carry him back down the steps to the main hall, and from there he was rushed to nearby St. Bartholomew's Hospital, but like Easton, Wynne, and Muccio before him, he was soon declared to be dead. I'll see you back here next week for another Morbid Monday.